They say if we'll only avoid any confrontation with the enemy, he'll forget his evil ways and learn to love it.
Hi, and welcome to the Too Much Coffee podcast. I'm Arthur Fantastic. I will be with you here every week on Friday. I record on Thursdays, though. So if there's anything you ever want me to talk about, just contact me before then, and I'll be able to put it in this week's show. Got a lot to talk about this week, a lot to get through, and I don't know where to start. You know what? I'll start here. I've been arguing with a lot of people on Facebook about this particular video from none other than Buzzfeed about this video that was talking about, basically they were talking about colorism, and I feel like that's what the video should have been about. It should have been about colorism, and it should be about self-knowledge and self-love, self-experience. And I was just commenting when I posted it that I was tired of seeing videos like this, because that's not what the video was about. The video was not about, their individual experiences needed to be talked about and shared. It was about a narrative. They're just pandering to people. And it was about self-victimization. It was about acting the victim. You can go to my Facebook, Arthur Fantastic on Facebook. I think that's facebook.com/ArthurFantastic. That's my personal page, and you can just, check out the conversation. It's over 100 comments, but yeah, it just ended up being about some bullshit. It wasn't about fuck what other people think. It wasn't about love yourself. It wasn't about self-knowledge. It was about pandering to people and making them feel like validated in victimizing themselves. You know what I'm saying? All those people persevered through every struggle they were talking about. Yet the video itself, though, was validating people victimizing themselves. So it was very interesting to see. I would definitely love to see each individual story and talk about that, but that's not what happened. So here's what I do want to talk about, I guess. I think that people should share their experiences, and I thought that was a really powerful video. Well, it would have been a powerful video if they did it the way that I'm talking about, but instead it was, like I said, the pandering mess that it was. So here's my experience. If you just look at me, and you can follow me on any of those social medias that I said before, my identity is very ambiguous, to say the least. First off, growing up, I was a chink. I was a Chinese kid, but then I was, I'm the Hispanic kid, I'm the Mexican kid, I'm the Puerto Rican kid, I'm the Dominican kid. I've been called spick, chink, I've been called nigger, and these were directly at me. Not this is a joke, blah, 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 blah. These are directly racial slurs pointed at me. And I was a Middle Eastern kid, too. I was beaten up for being, quote-unquote, Middle Eastern after 9/11 when I was, really young. I was playing a game of basketball, and I got beat up, and then they threw my bike at me, and the kids that saved me were I don't know, it was I don't know, man, it felt like a cartoon. It was a group of, I don't know how old they were, but they're younger than me, so they were 8 or something, but there was a bunch of them, and they stopped it, and I limped away, and then, toughened up, and then got on my bike and rode away as fast as I could. And the kids that were beating me up, or rather the kid that was beating me up, it was actually I don't know, a young man. He was much older than me. I was much younger, and I was really scrawny. So, I learned from that in the long run to love myself and self-knowledge. I know who the fuck I am. All right? I know who the fuck I am. I'm completely authentic, and I am completely myself. There's no one else like me. You know what I mean? I look how the fuck I want. I do what the fuck I want. And I know myself, and I know what's right and wrong. And so I am comfortable with myself, and I'm willing to hear critiques. I'm definitely open to critiques and shit like that. I'm not a perfect person. But I'm not going around and acting like a victim everywhere I go. You know what I'm saying? When I was younger, like I said, I played basketball all the time. I was way darker, and now I'm way lighter. But that's because I'm like nocturnal. I don't go out during the day. I don't really go out to the beach, even though I'm in Florida. I know it's like blasphemy. I do want to. I just don't, ever have the opportunity or the time. When I do have the opportunity. So I'm really pale. I go out at night. I go to, dancing and bars and shit, dive bars and fucking kegers and shit. So I'm very pale now. But I've dealt with different ends of the spectrum and shit like that. But I don't go around act like with this huge chip on my shoulder talking about, colonialism. That's what the video was talking about, colonialism. I think that's ridiculous. And I don't want to spend too much more time on this. I know we're at the 6-minute mark. So what else is there to say about it other than I feel as though that using that as a reason to validate why things are bad in society, you know what I mean? It's like it's the biggest problems are racism and this, that, the other thing. No, the biggest problem is self-knowledge, self-love, and value. Those are the problems, because there will always be ignorance, and therefore there will always be racist. So there's no stopping that. You know what I mean? You can fight as hard as you can for the rest of your life, and whatever bothers you is what you're letting bother you. You know what I'm saying? Things that can directly affect you, but you can only deal with the things that you can affect. And it's good. It's always good to remember that. Like this, for instance, I'm letting it affect me, but because I feel like I can make a difference, and I feel that that's the same point of view other people are coming from the other side. And so I'm trying, when I talk to people, to have a conversation. This podcast is about having a conversation. If you follow me on any social media, especially Facebook, some of my other ones are less conversation oriented. If you follow me on like Snapchat or Facebook, it's about talking and hearing the other person and then responding. You know what I mean? I'm willing to be convinced of the opposite of whatever I'm saying at all times, for the most part. I mean, if we're talking about values and morals, I know that in my opinion, that, and I think that objectively speaking, that there are certain morals that we should all have, or maybe embedded in us. But I digress. I think that a lot of bullshit is coming from people that just want to make their opinion felt, and they don't want to fucking talk about it. We're getting farther and farther over 100 and comments, and we're going back and forth, but a lot of people just fucking chime in and say the same goddamn thing someone else said. You know what I mean? Literally, I will have responded to what they asked or what they said before, like a comment literally before. And the worst thing you can do is waste somebody's time. You know what I mean? No one has unlimited time on this planet. So if you're going into a conversation and if they continue disagreeing with you after you make some shitty point like, oh, you're light-skinned, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? As a light-skinned to another light-skinned, you should shut the fuck up. Well, I think that you should shut the fuck up, you know what I mean? Because this is the most... And I didn't even reply like that at first. That happened after I got called a jerk for... I don't insult anybody, you know what I mean? I don't dismiss anybody. I'm rambling here. The worst thing you can do is go into a conversation already convinced just to say some shit and waste people's time. If you're gonna comment or you're gonna talk, let's have a conversation. Otherwise, you're just stroking your own dick. You know what I mean? You can, a compliment's a compliment. That's cool. You're stroking their dick. But when it's just you're putting your opinion down, you're stroking your own dick, and it's just not helping anybody. Maybe people will, oh, I feel the same way. That's awesome. But let's fucking talk. And if you don't want to fucking talk, don't fucking waste my time. But anyway, all right, that's enough time spent on that. Let me take some coffee here. Oh boy, that is cooled down a bit. All right, so let's do some follow-ups. This will be the follow-up segment from the last episode. Very quickly, a couple of hits here. So Floyd Mayweather versus McGregor. We talked about that on the last episode of the Too Much Coffee podcast. Follow us on Too Much Coffee podcast on Spreaker. That's SPREAKER.com. I'll have it on iTunes soon enough. Arthur Fantastic on all the other social medias. Go ahead and fucking follow me already. So here's the problem about the conversation that I was having last week about the Conor McGregor and the Floyd Mayweather like whole story, you know what I mean? The whole allegations thing. So here's the problem. Here's the problem. And this is I'm reporting this not just from myself, but from other people that are also experiencing this, okay? If you're any kind of like person of color or colored person, whatever the nomenclature is now, or the accepted political fucking if you're a colored person like myself, or you're black, or you know what I mean, if that doesn't, I don't know what counts as what, all right? If you have any like tint to your skin, all right, and you like Conor McGregor, automatically you're an Uncle Tom, you're a coon, you're whatever, you're all this bullshit. And this is happening over and over again. Friends that I know in person, people online, like, you know what I mean? If you are like Hispanic or you're black and you like Conor McGregor better than you like Mayweather, automatically you're a fucking Uncle Tom. You know what I mean? Like, you're called coon. And this is the same thing with the colonialism. If you disagree with colonialism isn't like this big fucking problem, or this, that, the other thing. If you disagree with like, you know, institutional racism or whatever, you're a fucking coon. You know what I mean? You're Uncle Tom. And that's fucking bullshit. This happens all the time by regressives, all right? All the time. This is for anything that should be talked about in the public forum, anything that should be talked about, people have made up their mind and they immediately vilify the people they don't talk to. If you're a conservative, no. If you're a liberal and you see a conservative, they're a fucking Nazi. If just because they disagree, you know what I mean? You know, if you disagree with anything that you say, they're a fucking Nazi, they're a fucking racist, they're a bigot, and they don't deserve to be responded to. This is causing the divide that I'm talking about all the time. They talk about how they learned in sociology class, like, prejudice plus power equals racism. So, all right, let's take this mental theory into our minds here, okay? This fucking ideology. And we say, okay, well, what about a black dad that doesn't let his daughter date white dudes? Is that racism? Because it seems like racism in that particular count, right? Because he has prejudice and he has power over his daughter, right? Which if directly affects the guy, you know what I'm saying? Is that racism? You know, I don't think reverse racism exists. You know why? Because it's just fucking racism. And everybody wants to validate this bullshit. I don't know why this episode has started off like this, but I don't know. Today was like a heavy day, and like a lot of people are talking this bullshit, and so I need to start with this because this is what's on my mind. So the next thing that I'll lead into that before I continue the follow-ups is this whole thing with Cole Sprouse. Now, Cole Sprouse is not a fucking racist. If you call reverse racism real, which is actually just racism, it's just like a soft way of calling you fucking racist. You know what I mean? Meaning black people can be racist, Hispanic people, everybody can be racist against any race. It's just prejudice against a person's race. It's pretty fucking simple. You know, this whole Cole Sprouse thing, people are saying that he's canceled because he was talking about reverse racism or whatever. But then I was reading more into it, and it was about how Cole Sprouse is, like, abusing his ex. Is that true? Is that a true story? So I was looking into that, and I can't tell if it's true. People are just claiming that it's true. There doesn't seem to be any like evidence other than how a person was talking. There didn't seem to be any video or pictures of bruises or anything. And if there was, that's not, you can't directly correlate that with a person. You know what I mean? There's no fucking evidence. But this all came from an article from Affinity. I'll post the link in the article. Probably post the little top section of it if you're watching on YouTube here. But I don't know, man. I don't know. I need somebody to look into that and let me know. All right. I have a fucking life, and I'm not gonna look into about like these claims of abuse. But it made me think twice about Cole Sprouse. This is a serious subject, but I have no fucking clue what the truth is about this. You know what I mean? I have known too many famous people getting away with fucking abuse because they're famous. And we'll talk about that again later on. Fuck it, we're gonna talk about it right now. R.Kelly and his sex cult. Have you fucking heard of this? Now, I don't usually ever take the word of Buzzfeed. But Buzzfeed had done its fucking job this time. This particular article, they had done their fucking job. I know, crazy. And that is disconcerting that this has been, like, we know that R. Kelly, there's something fucking wrong with this dude, you know what I'm saying? And he's getting away with this shit because of his talent as a musician. Everybody loves the remix to Ignition, all right? Everybody, and after the party is the hotel lobby. Everybody fucking loves that shit. But just because he came with a hit back in the day doesn't mean this nigga over here deserves a fucking free pass of having a sex cult. All right? Why the fuck are... Here's the issue, and I'm going to talk about it right now, because this is going to lead perfectly into the next subject, all right? First, your reaction is, what the fuck? Right? Then the second reaction is, what the fuck? Right? But then, this is what happens next. If you're smart, if you're intelligent, you're probably skeptical of it because you've heard so many bullshit headlines. There's tabloids, all this other stuff, right? And it's coming from Buzzfeed. You know what I mean? If you're anything but a fucking regressive leftist, and not like normal liberal or leftist. I'm talking about regressive leftist. If you're anything but that, you don't really take the word of Buzzfeed. But I'm telling you, Buzzfeed did their fucking research on this, and this is happening all over the place. Now, people want to make fun of the Catholic Church. People want to make fun of this, that, the other thing. But let's fucking look at it. People in power abuse their fucking power. We know this. People in power abuse their fucking power. We can talk about that guy Seville from England. We can talk about all these priests. We can talk about the former Speaker of the fucking House, a fucking convicted pedophile. We look at these 400 arrests earlier this year in California for a child sex ring. We have this child sex ring that's going on in the UK that was broken down and was left going for a long time because they didn't want to be called racist. I think it's more than just being called racist, but that's also an issue. Funny that we're talking about that earlier in the podcast, but this is happening all over the place. And so this is what I want to talk about. I want to talk about Pizzagate. I bet you fucking it's just saying Pizzagate is going to get some kind of eye on me, you know what I mean, for saying these words. Now, whether or not the whole thing with Comet Pizza and Besta Pizza and all these other places that's connected to the James Alefonte character. If I don't have any notes on this. I've been researching this for a while, and I realized that this connects to the R.Kelly thing. All right, because this is R.Kelly is taking these fucking kids, all right, and fucking making a sex cult. Like they have to. I don't know if you've heard of this. You know what I mean? That like when. Whew, man, this is fucking serious. When people fucking come over to R. Kelly's house, they're supposed to like stand and look at the wall, not look at anybody else but him, and it's this crazy fucking cult. And like, where are they? Are they okay? We don't fucking know. And I don't trust anybody from that camp telling us that they're okay. I want to hear it straight directly from the women, and I want to fucking see them in public and see if they're okay. And I still won't believe that they are okay because there's something called Stockholm Syndrome. And women are very at risk of suffering this syndrome more than men. So, I don't know. Pizzagate, back to that. That is a very long story. And there's so much data on the internet for you to look at. And just judge for yourself. Just judge for yourself. All right? Just fucking judge for yourself. All right? This is all based on factual data. These, if you recall the whole email thing, and there was a phishing scam, and they got all these emails. These emails from WikiLeaks are for sure real. Now, I don't know what the intent of dropping of all this stuff. I don't believe that the WikiLeaks are, I think they're just as culpable as anybody else. I think that all this shit is bullshit. I think this is all some kind of elaborate, misdirection. You know what I mean? This is a metagame. People are playing these metagames, all right? I don't know the exact reality of what's going on over there in Washington, but I do know that James Alefonte has done some weird shit on his fucking Instagram, posting some weird shit. He has shirts that says "I love children." He's like holding a baby, and the only thing that it says hashtag chicken fucker. If you look up what chicken means in the nomenclature online, like the vernacular that's used by online pedophiles in the deep web, the dark web, chicken, it was referring to child, a baby, you know what I'm saying? So this is fucking weird shit, you know what I mean? And those are just two little facts. I know that sounds weird, but he's rated as the 50th most influential person in Washington. Why? There's nothing other than him owning the pizza places. I don't know, man. I heard that he was dating some other head of some kind of like propaganda company, you know what I mean? Let's call it propaganda, you know what I mean? Public relations company, but it's really propaganda. So maybe, there was some kind of just nepotism, like there was just, hiring, throwing these get-togethers at this particular person's place. But I'm telling you, just look up the fucking information. Drop my phone. Look up the information. Judge for yourself. And fucking consider this. Consider, just because you don't or are not capable of imagining somebody doing something really fucking terrible and getting away with it, does not mean that it's true. Just because you're not capable of like believing that somebody has a sex cult or has trafficking children and fucking babies and then fucking killing them or selling them, does not mean that it's not true. So when you go and look into this information, I'll throw a couple of images up here about Pizzagate, and I'll probably put some links in there. Just consider that you might be fucking wrong. Just consider that there might be something fucking wrong with this planet, and just consider that maybe Pizzagate is real. Maybe Pedogate's real. Okay? I don't know if it's necessarily at Best of Pizza or Comet Pizza or all these places with all this fucking weird imagery, and they're all fucking with these weird people like Marina Abramovich and all this fucking weird shit. I don't know. You know what I mean? Just because you don't believe in that there might be a Satan or a Lucifer or something does not mean that people don't. All right? People believe a fucking spaghetti monster in outer space at this point in time. Believe that that's real. So if you want to believe whatever you want, go ahead. But it doesn't mean that other people don't believe it. And that other people are capable of doing some fucking crazy weird shit. And that people might be involved with it without not even believing it, just so that they can do whatever the fuck they want in terms of being in that group. Whether it's fucking children or killing people. None of that they believe has to be true for them to believe that it is true. Okay? All right. So all these separate pieces, I know that sounded a little bit convoluted, but what I'm saying is just because you don't believe that exists doesn't mean it doesn't exist. Doesn't mean that all the people that are involved believes that either. They're just involved because that's what's involved with those people. Do you understand that there might be a network built among this particular idea that people then take action upon because they want to be involved with the ongoings of the whatever, not because they believe what the other people believe. It's politics. This is all fucking some weird, crazy shit. And I want you to go look up in the internet and consider really doing some research, because a lot of crazy shit's happening. All right, a lot of missing children. 300,000 last year, I think, was the number. Crazy number of children are going fucking missing every year, more than any other person. And at least 12% of those people that are going missing are being put into the sex trade. All right, as sex slaves. All right, this is fucking real. All right, slaves fucking exist now. So when everybody's talking about racism and all this other bullshit, that shit is happening right now, and no one's doing a goddamn thing about it. Like, this is what we can live with, all right? I don't fucking care that if you go to Korea and you have a little bit darker skin, that their culture doesn't like it. They're like, oh, is that actually your mother? Is that actually your daughter? You feel like a foreigner in Korea? Pfft. You are a foreigner. You're from America. You don't even speak Korean. You are a foreigner. Shut the fuck up, suck it up, and fucking enjoy Korea. Like, learn whatever you don't have to agree that that's what you believe too. Fuck them. You know what I mean? If that bothers you, but it doesn't bother them, don't fucking go over to their fucking country and tell them that they're fucking wrong. That's what they want to do. You know what I mean? People are having their own things over there too. So, you can fucking support the people that are going through the struggle without fucking acting as if like, oh, I feel like a foreigner in my own country. Just because you're ethnically Korean doesn't mean you're Korean. So, and I'm not excusing any colorism. Colorism's bad. I'm just saying, don't fucking have some kind of like, oh, I feel like a foreigner in someone else's country. You are. Oh, boy. So all this shit's happening, and it's just very serious. It's just very serious. All right, so the other thing I want to go back into is damn, we're at 30 minutes. The next thing I want to go back into to follow up on is the whole SoundCloud thing. Chance the Rapper did come out officially, said that he's gonna fix. Like, what the fuck are you gonna do, Chance? Where are you getting the money? I don't understand what's going on with that SoundCloud thing. This is a follow-up from this last podcast. Once again, if you don't remember, just check it out. Episode 1, SoundCloud is in trouble and Chance to rescue, essentially. I've heard this on the internet, and I was thinking to myself when originally I saw these tweets, but now that it's out there in the open, I'm going to have to say, like, this is kind of weird to see Chance the Rapper coming out of nowhere to save SoundCloud. Like, where does he have that fucking money? Where do you get that money? He's only worth so much. Oh, boy. Where is he getting this money? I think, and this back to what I was saying, this is what people think, that it might be a setup. What did Chance do exactly? Like, I don't understand. Like, it just seems like the Hegelian dialectic. You all right? You make a problem artificially, and then you already have the solution beforehand, and you make the problem so that you can use that solution and look better. You know what I'm saying? Like, artificial problem. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. They did like terminate like 179 people from there and like close several offices. I know that's all like big shit, but you know, why the fuck do they even have that many offices in the first place? Anyway, you know, if you want to hear me on SoundCloud, it's soundcloud.com/ArthurFantastic. That's ArthurFantastic. Unet. That's me. So just check that out. As this develops, I will go on and cover it as much as I can. There's very little to talk about at the moment, other than Chance has made a claim that he's going to help SoundCloud with what? I don't know. I don't know. All right. I'm done with all the stuff from last week. Let me drink some tea. Fucking tea. Some coffee. Boy, that is fucking room temperature now. Less than room temperature, to be totally honest. Whew. All right, so here is something that all right, we're gonna lighten things up. Here's some things that we're gonna talk about right now. Young Ma. If you heard the other podcast I was on this week, that my friend Chris Ellis, he's got a podcast called Another Bad Monday. Check that out. I don't have a link to it right now, so once I find it, I'll put it in the description. I said I was gonna talk about Young Ma. Here's the problem with Young Ma, man. A little bit problematic. The problem with Young Ma is this. She's just another fuckboy rapper, okay? That's why I fucking said it. She's just another fuckboy. Like, why are people exploding at Young Ma being like this, that, the other thing? She's so fucking great. She's just another one of these fuckboy rappers. So if you like fuckboy rappers, oh, I understand why you like Young Ma, because she's another fuckboy. Why do we like fuckboys? All right? Here's the thing. There's a total difference between a real butchy lesbian and like a real dykey lesbian. All right, I have tons of I have tons of them. All right, I have dykey friends and then I have butch lesbian friends, and like there's a difference. There's such a big difference, man. Like, because dykey is negative, like, you know, fuckboys, and I like fuckboy lesbians are just fuckboys without a penis. You know what I'm saying? Young Ma, all right, walks around with a fucking strap on, with the strap on, like she's packing something that's fucking a fake penis. But I think it's fucking hilarious that you know where like the biggest line of last summer was like, you call her Stephanie, I call her Heffany. Like, what the fuck does that even mean? Like, that's not like headphony. That's funny. Like, is that oh, everybody liked the beat and they were just looking for something to like about the lyrics. Don't even front. That shit was garbage. You know, that beat was hot though. I won't lie. And I feel like she's got that sound like a real hard nigga. But here's the thing. She's not. All right. And I bet you that if a man fought her, you know what I mean, and she was trying to bow up, I don't think that things would end up well for her. Okay, I don't care how butch you are or how long the strap you on that you walk around with on all the time is. I don't care. I don't care. If like a dude punches you in the face, it's not gonna go well. All right, like, why are we holding up fuckboys into the limelight? Does she even hustle? What she fucking do? Like what the fuck does she do? I remember she had an interview with Charlemagne. Charlemagne's like Charlemagne's like, oh, you're talking about like deep throating, like, what does that do for you? And she was like, and she dismissed it like a bad interview, like a bad interviewee. Like, you came to somebody's house, he asked you a question, and you're just dismissing that question. Like, to me and to him, that doesn't make sense. Like, oh yeah, it makes sense to me when a girl deep throats my dick and it feels good to me. Like, what the fuck? It doesn't. What the fuck does it do to you? It's all just mental, right? I don't know. You would have to explain that to me. Here's an issue. Here's about an issue about like these dykey lesbians versus butch lesbians. Here's an issue. Okay, when it gets so dykey like that, it's because they have a bad view of men. It's because they have a bad view of men. There are some butch lesbians that get it. Men are just normal dudes for the most part, and you can just chill and be whatever, you know what I mean? Like, it's just another dude or whatever. But then you have these really dykey lesbians and lesbians who agree, and it's like, why? You know what I mean? Like, these particular dykey lesbians, when I say fuckboy lesbians, they are the super fuckboy. You cannot be worse than a super dykey fuckboy lesbian, okay? Because a normal fuckboy is a dude who's stupid. You know what I mean? A dude is fucking stupid. But lesbians like these are the type to play a woman because they know exactly how to play a woman, what's on a woman's mind. She's a woman too. You know what I'm saying? She is a woman too. So she knows exactly what a woman is looking for, what they want to hear. So dykey lesbians will like talk about a man's girlfriend, talk about her friend's boyfriend, I guess, or whatever, or her friend's lesbian lover, and they'll just like make them feel like shit about it, but while also like telling them, oh, I can do it better, this, that, the other thing. And this has happened to my lesbian friends that are that like have been cheated on because there's a fuckboy lesbian like in the ear of their partner, and I'm 100% a part of the group that says it's both their faults. It's not just this fuckboy it's both their faults. But you know what I'm saying? They are able to play a mental game better than any male fuckboy could ever do. You know what I'm saying? The only thing that they don't have is a penis, and they have they have a strap on, and you know what I mean? Like, you could, your stamina is as good as your normal endurance. You know what I mean? It's not as good as long as you can hold it and this, that, the other thing. You know how hard it is to cultivate that, to get to the level as a man where where you're confident. You know what I mean? Holding it in and stuff like that. As a nerd, I didn't really have to deal with that because as a kid, as a nerd, I just like masturbate way too often. So I just, nothing turns me on anymore other than like tentacles and shit like that. Segue into the next drink some coffee. Segue into the next topic. First, let me plug. This is the Too Much Coffee podcast. I'm Arthur Fantastic, your host. And you can follow me on any social media at Arthur Fantastic, IG, Snapchat, Twitter, Facebook. You can also check out my artist page on Facebook, which is FUQURSHIET. That's fuck your shit. You can go to SoundCloud at Arthur Fantastic. Once again, just find me on the internet. Pornhub, X videos. I swear, if you didn't look it up from last week, I'm fucking there. Just look me up, Arthur Fantastic. So the next topic, segueing from tentacles, is hentai. I just wrote hentai on this piece of paper. What the fuck am I talking about? Have you seen the hentai that's out now? Have you seen the hentai? How fucking ridiculous it's gotten. Like, I could not imagine as a young as a young fucking moron watching the types of hentai porn that is available to me now for free. like wow. Like, we're at such a point where, like, these characters look fucking, like, 3D, like, real characters on, and it's, like, fully animated. There's every type of fucking hentai porn you can possibly think of any cartoon, and if not, there's, like, a drawn version of it, which is a manga. or a doujinshi, doujin, doujin. So doujinshi is like these like fan made comic books, right? And then some of them are hentai. They're dirty. Definitely check it out. I fucking love it. If you've ever seen any of those memes with those chicks with their tongues out and it's like manga drawn and like that like their pupils are hearts and like they're getting fucked, there's like sweat and shit all over them. That's AHEGAO. I don't know even how to say it. A hegao, which is like essentially like a type of like the drawing of the manga hentai. So I guess I'll tell the story. There's a story of me as a young person. I'm gonna drink this coffee. I was still young, just learning what masturbation was on my own. And I'm on the internet, and so you know, you millennials or whoever is young listening to this, you shouldn't be. It's just parental advisory. And it says explicit content on here, so you should fucking know. Like, you shouldn't be listening. But if you do, all right, whatever. If you're young and you're too young to remember like a dial tone to turn on your computer and connect to the internet, and how long it would take to get a single fucking picture to load on your screen of a new chick, you know what I mean? It was a different time, all right? And so, you know, I would, you know, as a young man, I would cultivate these anime hentai pictures and save them and then print them out so I would have them for later. But I had, I guess I had stumbled upon a website by accident or on purpose. I knew it was an anime hentai site. I knew it was a hentai site. But I didn't know that I'd click something to pay for something because I don't have any money. I didn't have any money. I was super young. I wasn't like, I don't know. I was definitely under 13. I was like definitely under 13. Fucking rambling here, like fucking. So I click it and I'm just trying to look through it and stuff like that. I guess that whatever I clicked, like we were charged a large amount of money and like we fought it or whatever because I didn't mean to and no one agreed to it. There was no like, oh, put in like the number or whatever. I didn't have a number to put in. But I ended up getting in really big trouble. Going to this site, you know, $1 all access, and I was just trying to, you know, how you can get back in. This is back once again back in the day. There was no like porn sites you could just go to and just watch porn. Unless it was like, you know, amateur porn. But you can go and watch the preview videos. They had like teaser videos or teaser trailers that were pretty good. Like they knew there was like a science about it. They had all the good fucking parts in it, and they just like watered it down to like 3 minutes, and then like, you know, you just have 3 minutes to like vigorously pump your shit until you bust. And then like they would like limit. I don't know if they do it now still, but they would limit the amount of times you could replay it or whatever. So you're like left hand. You like left hand clicking like the mouse or whatever non-dominant hand clicking the mouse with like your off finger to fucking get into to replay while your other hand is still fucking trying to go. This was a different time. Now you can just go to fucking Xvideos or Pornhub and just watch any fucking video you want, you know what I mean, for free. You know what I mean? And you don't even need a fucking account. I have one though, Arthur Fantastic. And that's fucking crazy. That's fucking crazy where we've come to in terms of like the first full hentai I watched as a kid was called La Blue Girl, and it was the uncensored version. Japan has this weird thing where they censor the pussy and the and dicks for whatever reason in their porn. And that doesn't make any sense to me because you're already fucking like this is what's going on. Why the fuck do you need to censor it? What's the point? Like, it's fucking retarded. I understand that their culture is this, that, the other thing, but I don't, you know what I mean? Like, they're fucking like, why the fuck are you blurring it out? And it's not like I even want to look at it, you know what I mean? Like, I hate those shots in porn and hentai or whatever when it's just the like meat on meat for too long. It was just like girl getting rammed, you know what I mean? But it's just like the whole, like, who fucking cares, you know what I mean? Like, cool, I see it. Thank you for establishing that. A couple of this is cool, but like, let's get back to these panned out shots where I see the chick, you know what I mean? you know what I mean, and I see like the body, you know, shit that is giving me the erection, that's like arousing me. I don't want to just see like, you know, I could just look at my hand and my dick, it just be just as fucking hot in my opinion. There's nothing appealing about that. But I'm ranting too long about it. So for those are the uninitiated, there's this really big network. It's called the AVN network. I'm pretty sure they have adult video network, I think. Well, anyway, they have like award shows and they have these expos and conventions and everything like that, and I think those are fucking hilarious, great. I'm not sure. I don't know how I feel. This is how I feel. I love conventions, all right? And if I could go to an adult entertainment a convention, I don't know if I'd pay for it, but if somebody else paid for it, like I'd fucking go. I'd fucking fuck right on camera. I don't even give a fuck. But it's not like, I don't think that that's necessarily a good moral value thing, you know. But we're always playing the game, right? Right. This is like, you hate the game, don't hate the player, hate the game, right? So we're always playing a game, and we're playing by a whole different set of rules. You know what I mean? Love and all this other shit doesn't matter anymore, right? So I don't know, man. I think it's fucking great. I saw this video of this dude like doing interviews at like the AVN Adult Entertainment Expo. I can't remember his site, but it's fucking great. It's called Fingering Porn Stars at the AVN Adult Entertainment Expo or whatever. And he's not like actually fingering them. He's like giving them the handshake, and then he's doing that little weird thing you do when you want to freak somebody out when you're shaking their hand. So yeah, it's pretty funny. And then I guess there's like an uncensored version on Pornhub I haven't had a chance to check out, but that's cool. You know what I mean? I'd fucking go and, you know, do some crazy shit, but it's not like, I don't think that's fucking necessarily good. You know what I mean? So, you know, but if you want to send me, look me up on Patreon, patreon.com/ArthurFantastic, and you can support this show, support the videos that I put on YouTube, my music, by just giving me $1 every month. You know what I mean? It's not a lot to ask for, but it is a lot to ask for because I don't have money to give out myself. So I understand if you can't, and I appreciate any likes, comments, and subscribes that you do when you do listen to this. I don't really have anything else much to talk to about. We're at the 47-minute mark, and you know, what else is there to talk about that's going on this week? Rest in peace to my Uncle Jimmy. He had a hard time at the end there, and I hope that, you know, he's in a place that's better than this fucking terrible world, man. And I'll keep him in my prayers, and I hope that you keep people that you love in your prayers, and that you know now that, you know, whatever you got now, it's time to appreciate it, because you don't know what you got till it's gone. You know what I mean? No one ever appreciates that statement. It's just some bullshit statement to them, but what's reality? The reality of the matter is that everybody takes for granted what they've got, and if you just loved it now, you wouldn't feel so shitty later. So oh boy, that's it in my cup. So then I'll end the podcast here on this. I know this is another sad note, so maybe I'll say one more thing after this. Chester Bennington died. He was found dead in his apartment from an apparent suicide. Damn, my voice is low because of this. This is sad. I fucking loved Linkin Park as a kid. I remember wearing this one particular long sleeve, like, crew neck shirt that was like green and was kind of like acid washed, and it just reminded me of Linkin Park. And I would wear it all the time because I liked it. And I remember doing a lot of stuff in that shirt. I remember hearing "Crawling in My Skin" the first time, and in the end, It doesn't even matter. I tried so hard to lose it all. Man, oh, there's so much good music back in the day. Man. And it's just really sad to hear that, you know what I mean? That a person so famous and successful, 6 children, I think one ex-wife and a wife, maybe 2 ex-wives, you know, a successful band, all the money in the world that you could possibly want. You know, it's very disheartening, disconcerting to see him kill himself. You know, and I feel the same. You know, we all feel sad. We all have suicidal thoughts. You know what I'm saying? But to see a person who has attained whatever we thought that if we attained, we wouldn't feel so bad, kill themselves, like it's heavy, man. It's heavy. You know what I mean? Is there really any hope? You know what I'm saying? And, you know, I think that there is. I think that he gave up. You know what I mean? I'm not speaking bad of him or anything like that, but, you know what I mean? Which does talk about his life. He had done so much. The last thing I saw them do was they had done a pop-up show in New York in the fucking subway system. I thought that was so cool, and I just don't understand how... Waiting for the da-da-da... Ba-da-da-da-da-da. What a fucking great song. I wanted to do a fucking cover of that song. I'm still gonna do a cover of that song that I'm working on with a band, but it's just really sad to hear that, you know? I don't know what to fucking say other than it's just sad to hear that. I don't know what else to say other than damn, I'm sad to hear that, because that should have never fucking happened. No one deserves to be that sad. No one deserves to be that sad to fucking give up like that. And, like, shit, man, like, you know, my heart goes out to his family. He had 6 kids. What are they going to do without the dad? I don't know what to say about it other than I'm sad. I'm really sad about it. Everything about it makes it really sad. Rest in peace. Rest in peace, man. So yeah, like, damn, that's sad. What is this else to talk about? I'll talk about one more thing just because I was sad, and I don't want to end it on a sad note. You know what I mean? Too much coffee is not about being sad. So let's talk about coffee. I just had French press, the other day for the first time. It's kind of coffee that's like, you know, what the fuck it is, but it's coffee, and it was fucking great. And I had it with sugar. I always drink my coffee black with sugar, just because I want to drink coffee. I don't want to drink milk and coffee. I want to drink coffee, and I want it to be sweet. And you know, we know that coffee is a little bit bitter, so you just add a little bit of sugar. Boom, it's fucking beautiful. So I don't know what to feel about Chester Bennington. Damn, dude, that fucking wrecked my heart when I read it. It was like the first thing that I read, and then I started arguing with somebody on Facebook about bullshit. Oh boy. Rest in peace, man. Rest in peace. But yeah, back to coffee. Didn't mean to kill the mood there. I had this French coffee. I would like to hear how you drink coffee, and I would like to think. I would like to hear how you how you think, or whatever you think about anything I've said on this podcast. Like, I am definitely, if you disagree with anything I've said about anything, I challenge you to make your opinion known, and I will respond. And if you have you just want to say something, what you think about the podcast, just fucking say it in the comments here on YouTube. Give it a like, give it a dislike, I don't care. Subscribe if you like it. Excuse me, I burped. And yeah, man, like, I'm having fun. This is what I like to do, just talk, and I would like to talk to you. If you have music and you want it featured on the program in the background, just let me know. I'll play it. Bam, bam, bam. Right now, I just felt like it was a really serious day, so no music. And the first one didn't have any music, but I didn't think it needed music. So, yeah, hit me up if you want your music featured here, or you want to make an opinion on on air. We can talk about it and stuff like that, and I can address it on air. I can read your statement, however you want to do it. This is an open conversation. I'm trying to open a dialogue. I'm trying to talk to people that are listening. And I'm definitely open to hearing opposing views of anything I say. You know what I mean? So let's talk, man. Let's talk about anything that I've said. I have been followed up on particular stories for a particular reason because I don't want to talk about those things anymore. I think that that should be done. And I'll follow up on stories that I thought was important. I'm definitely gonna follow up on this R.Kelly story, SoundCloud story, Conor McGregor as that continues. But I'm gonna give it a little less time than I did today, because I think we've said everything that needed to be said. But if you have something to say, I'll definitely address it on air, or at least in the comments. And I'm rambling again. Fuck. Okay, so we're at the 55-minute mark. Once again, it's Arthur Fantastic on any social media: Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, SoundCloud, fucking X videos, Pornhub, and fucking everything. And then on YouTube, it's Golden Ruffian, GOLDENRUFFIAN. And I'll soon have like another YouTube channel for just Arthur Fantastic stuff, like my music or whatever or something like that. I don't know. I don't fucking know. But also, if you like 40K, I'm also gonna be talking about that next week on this program. 40K is just like a really nerdy tabletop game. I would definitely like to introduce the audience to what that is. There's been video games and a lot of people have stolen their ideas. Blizzard. And there's tons of stuff to talk about it, and I'll also be making a new YouTube channel for that as well. So if you are interested in that, or you came here because you were interested in that, definitely take a look at my my profile. I have something on about that, and I'll also probably have something linked up on here once it does happen. But next episode, next Thursday, I will be releasing it on next Friday. And if you have something to say it to me now, or forever hold your goddamn peace. I'm Arthur Fantastic. Holler at your boy. Peace. Peace.